It's time for the Nebraska Football Coaches Show.
Little bubble screen in the flat, pass caught. Great play on the edge. Malcolm Hartsaw coming up strong to make a hit and a loss of 2 yards. He read that beautifully. They get it out to Crooms. Malcolm not surprised. Now you got 3rd and 10. Kaliak Manis, 2 on the play clock. Just gets it off. Back to throw. Huskers send the blitz. They get after him. Nash gets a sack. Back to the 30-yard line. Huskers' second sack of the drive. And they'll shut down this Gopher attack. Jumbo formation to the near side.
They let counter out of this.
Under center, Kaliak Manis. Back to throw on a play action. Looking to take a shot. Throws it downfield. Pass is intercepted, I think. Picked off. Huskers intercept one at the 11-yard line. It's Omar Brown stepping in front of it. Back home to Minneapolis for Omar Brown. And he has a pick.
Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our football show here on a Tuesday night. We're going to recap the Huskers game up in Minneapolis and then look ahead to the Colorado matchup. And delighted to be joined tonight by Husker defensive coordinator Tony White. Text lines are wide open for you. Want your input, want your thoughts. We'll pass on comments to Coach 402-413-2400. Good to have you here. I know the end result is you win as a team, lose as a team. But from your standpoint, I thought your guys played with great passion. They played with great effort in the entire game on Thursday night in Minneapolis. How did you view the way your defense played?
You know what? It was fun watching them go out there and all the hard work in the offseason, all the hours put in the weight room and the meetings with Kristen and the spring ball, fall camp. It was good to see those guys run around out there and just let it loose and play. And I think the amount of guys who got in the game, meaningful snaps, guys who executed all the defensive calls, it was a treat. You know, it was to go out there and watch them basically say, "Hey, I can do it." You know what I mean? And so it was fun.
Coach, we counted, I think, after the first Minnesota drive, you've got 18 guys on the field. Is that kind of the way you want it to be?
Yeah, I mean that's great. You know, again, because any amount of snaps that you take off some guys, it'll add up here in November, December. You know, and also you just never know. I mean, you got guys who go in the game for the first time. I mean, Buddha, P. Will, Elijah Judy. You got guys in the secondary going in there and they kind of wow you. You know, you know what they're capable of, but then on the grass, under the lights, on the big stage, when they go out there and make plays, it's kind of neat. You know, you're rooting for them. So it's hopefully something that happens the whole season.
How is that communication-wise when you're making that many subs? You got to be kind of buttoned up, don't you, to be able to make all those changes? Yeah,
that right there is a huge testament to, number one, the players for being attentive on the sideline, and then the coaches, Coach T. Knighton, Rob, and Coop, being really, really on top of it because they were signaling as well. So the communication between the players and the coaches, the signals and the substitutions, I thought it was first class. Those guys did a really nice job, and the cool thing, being on the sideline for the first time, you know, as a staff like that, you heard the teaching going on. You know, you constantly were hearing teaching about the situations, about what happened, about what guys saw, not only from the coaches to the players, but from the players to the players. So I thought the sideline operation was good. You know, some things we got to clean up to be better this week.
You were down. Is that where you want? I mean, obviously that's where you want to be. That's where you were. Yeah. But by being down, you can hear more of that stuff, right?
Yeah. You're in the moment. You can get a feel for the guys when they need, you know, a kick in the butt or a pat on the back or you know, for them to be left alone. And also all the full-time guys are down on the sideline too. So you're in constant communication with those guys. You can, you know, walk up to them and say, "Hey, what'd you see? What'd you do? What'd you feel?" And those kind of things happened a lot on the sideline. And again, it was a really nice job by the players and the assistant coaches.
Who were your eyes in the sky then for you?
Yeah, the aux staff. It was Potenza, Bringell, and Shevin Smith. Those guys up there, and Shevin, it was his first time, so it was moving fast. But some of the other guys, you know, they were comfortable up there the whole time. Great communication from not only myself to them, but from assistant coach to them in the box, getting things fixed. I thought again it was good, but can always be better.
PJ Flex teams known for running the football, but they came out throwing right out of the gate. They're throwing the football.
one, were you surprised? And two, what kind of adjustments did you have to make once you kind of felt like they're going to throw it all night against us?
Yeah, they had shown some stuff they hadn't ever done. A lot of shifting, trading, motioning. They started being on the ball and then jumping to new formations like that. Hadn't seen that, and then he said they wanted to get him hot early, and so mainly it was on third downs. I thought the adjustments, the assistant coaches, T. Knight with the front, and then Coop and Rob with the secondary and the back end guys coming together and saying, hey, this looks like it can hit. This works here. These coverages this, and the guys in the box, the eyes in the sky. I thought being able to communicate and see that and get a feel for what they were trying to do. I thought the adjustments were good. Actually, should have been earlier. It would have saved us a couple third downs and some field positions. But again, good start, but got to get better.
That's got to be a win, though. I mean, new staff, all these new parts to do that on the road, first game. I think I'm putting words in your mouth, but yeah, you got to be pleased with that it went that well week one. Yes, it's not perfect, and it is going to get better, but you have to feel like, man, mission kind of accomplished in week one.
Yeah, again, the amount of players that went into the game, that played, that produced, not only on defense, on special teams, for guys who had very minimal college experience on the grass against Minnesota first time, new staff under the lights. Again, happy for them. Happy that they actually got some validation to, hey, the hard work you put in the offseason, the nutrition, the mindfulness training, the long days with Corey, the mat drills in the spring and the summer and stuff like that. It's like, yo, all that stuff works. So let's go play some ball now.
You talked about communication on the sideline. How was it on the field, and who's good at that for you out there that you can trust to make the right calls on the field? Yeah,
I mean, you constantly heard Giff, Luke, you heard Bullock. I mean, Tyrod, Nash. I mean, again, that was the cool thing was, those older guys coming to the sideline and being able to say what they saw, what they're feeling out there. The secondary guys talking about routes and formations and stuff with Coop, listening to that, and the adjustments made. When something came over, they automatically went up to. I saw numerous times where they went up to Coach Dvorak and said, "Hey, this, how do you want this to be handled and everything?" And him being able to relay that info to the guys and them actively getting it done. I mean, that's a neat deal for me to be able to have those guys adjust and see the game. They're an extra set of eyes and stuff out there. So.
Tackling. How did you feel like when you went back and now have graded the tape? How was the tackling?
I thought it was good. I thought that the guys wanted to tackle, and that's the biggest thing, right? It's the intent. They wanted to get to the ball carrier, and they wanted to express a dominant contact that they have been practicing and been taught and all that stuff. So I thought that was okay. The biggest thing is now. 1% better is seeing that and now trusting that they can get to that position, but also now attacking the ball some more. Wanted to make a huge emphasis on tackling that first week, and I think the guys now again they got validation of it. So now it's again, how do we get better from that and improve from it? So.
Because I imagine that's going to be a challenge this week because of the tempo of the offense you will face compared to the Gophers, and they want to get their playmakers in space. Maybe designed differently than Minnesota's. Tackling is going to be probably a key, I would think, this Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, tackling is going to be, no matter who you play, no matter what you do, you're going to have to tackle well, and that comes down to, again, the intent. You got to want to go in there and you want to tackle somebody. And then the second thing is you got to get bodies around the ball. You got to have more than one guy. Those guys are on scholarship too. They're skilled athletes on the other side of the ball, so you have to get 1, 2, 3 guys over there, so that way he might make one guy miss. It's hard to make two. It's really hard to make 3 guys miss. So again, that goes back to the effort and kind of the attitude you have on the identity you have on defense.
Dorothy Lynch, home-style light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. Defensive coordinator Tony White with us here on our Husker Football Radio Hour. He's here till the top of the hour. Nebraska headed to Boulder to take on Colorado this week. Omar Brown, Deshaun Singleton led you in tackles. Some of that might have just been because they threw the football so much. Do your defenses, is it more safeties that make the leading tacklers, or is it more of your linebackers?
It's usually spread out. I mean, like you said, it just depends on the kind of game there is. If it's more of an inside game, more of an outside game, perimeter game, it just depends, and coverages. I thought I thought some of the it was, when you go back and watch the film, those DBs, they were humming. I mean, they saw a run and they were downhill in a heartbeat. And again, Deshaun Singleton, Omar Brown, guys who minimal college experience, but they come out there and they rock it. And Giff was the same way. I mean, Newsom had a couple hits. I mean, Malcolm going in, and he's not the biggest guy, but he'll go down there in a heartbeat. So it was fun to watch the third level get down and want to tackle somebody.
A text question from Art in Los Angeles for you, Coach. He said, ask about the penalty we got for clapping. Can you lay out what that is? Yeah. What's the rule? What happened? And was it the correct call?
Yeah, no, that's on me. That's my fault. So they lined up in an offense. I made a call, and then they went to go change the call. And so I tried to change the call as well, but I didn't communicate fast enough with the guys, with Luke. So he saw it at the last second. So he's trying to get everybody's attention. So he's clapping to the guys like, "Yo, hey, it's this new call.
Pay attention."
Yeah, pay attention to me." And the ref called it, which I don't even think I think they were going on voice cadence. So no, that I don't. Again, that's my fault.
Odd call. You don't see that very often in college football.
No.
But it is there. So, all right. So, thanks, Art. Appreciate the text. Keep them coming, folks. 402-413-2400. How about Omar Brown going back kind of to his hometown, and what a great job jumping that route, getting the pick down inside the red zone. That was a huge play he made. Yeah,
it was cool that he was a captain. Coach made him a captain for the game, being from there, him and Blaze. So that's really classy. And I think you could see it when Coach announced it. There was his shoulders popped up, and it was like, okay, and he had a little gleam in his eye, him and Blaze, So it was fun to watch him and do that. And he had I know at the buses, he had a huge contingent of family and friends there. So always fun to be able to trust the guys to go out there and play ball. And it was in a crucial situation. They're going down into the red zone and they're in man-to-man coverage, and I think they max pro'd it, and so it was a two-man route, and sure enough, he just made a play. So it was really cool.
Great to see. All right, no sacks in the first half, but you had 3 in the second half. Did you change something, or were guys just doing a better job of getting home?
No, I think that's, again, the players got a feel for it. And I think coverage-wise, we decided on some coverages we want to play between Rob and T. Knight, talking on some stuff up front about how we can get home, at halftime, going back and kind of self-scouting what we were doing good, what we were doing bad, and then just going out there and trusting the guys. So it was a mixture of both, the coaches coming together with some good stuff and the players getting a feel for what we wanted to do and then going out there and executing.
Ty gets ejected. How well did he play up to that point?
Man, I tell you what, both those guys up front, man.
Nash and Ty.
Yeah. It's when the players run and you don't get a chance to really observe in there how violent and physical those two were up in there, along with Blaze and everybody, but especially those two guys. I mean, they're getting double teamed and they're splitting them and getting in the backfield. They're beating guys one-on-one. I mean, when we're playing static, they're big and strong enough to hold up in there. And then the thing I don't think people give them credit for is their movement skills. I mean, they're able to move and get up the field and attack in the backfield, which, again, it makes everybody's job easier when those two guys are cut loose in there and they're wrecking shop and taking up two and beating guys in the backfield so fast. So again, I think for him, both of them being in the new system, saying, okay, we've gone through the spring, gone through the fall. Now, hey, let's go. Lights are on. I think they had a lot of fun out there, and it was cool to see him smiling and all that stuff. So it's cool.
You don't have time first half. So who are you going to look to take those reps in the first half till you get him back?
Yeah, I mean, so many guys played up there and played well. So we're gonna rotate guys through there. I mean, you got Blaze and you got Cam going in there. You got P. Will did a really nice job. You got Judy. So T. Knight does a really great job of making sure, not only the first guys, the first group, the second group, but those seconds, thirds, and plus, those guys know what to do, and he trusted them. He trusted them to go in the game and said, hey, yeah, critical situations, said, hey, let's go. I trust them, put them in there, and they produce. So we got some guys that'll rotate through there.
Coach Rowe, I think he was joking yesterday at the press conference that he told Ty, you're not coming out in the second half. You got to have football play, be ready to roll.
Yeah, he's going to have fresh legs, so he better stay in the game the whole time.
Coach White's with us till the top of the hour. Keep those texts coming. I've seen a couple pop in. We'll get to those in the next segment. 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. Woodhouse is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. More with the coach coming up.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Experience a redefined car buying process when you shop at Genesis of Southwest Omaha. Our seasoned team provides exceptional customer service with personalized attention, expert advice and knowledge on vehicles you're interested in, and a streamlined purchasing experience. Shop our full lineup today and test drive the thrilling 2023 Genesis G70. This fierce and powerful sedan pushes limits with exhilarating capabilities and 4 available powertrains to choose from. Visit us in store or online at southwestomahagenesis.com.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Hey, congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
If unwanted hair is putting you in a prickly situation, give laser hair removal a try. Milan Laser Hair Removal delivers smooth, hair-free skin with permanent results for men and women of all skin tones. So there's no more unwanted stubble, razor burn, or ingrown hairs. Visit any of Milan Laser's 7 Nebraska locations to get 1 free treatment. Ready to never shave again? Call 833-NO-RAZOR or visit MilanLaser.com to book your free treatment and consultation. That's MilanLaser.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, along with Husker defensive coordinator Tony White. It's our football show for the week. If you got a comment or did you want to get to Coach, 402-413-2400. That is our text line. We have a text for you, Coach. How does the altitude you're going to play with this week, how does that affect the guys?
Well, I think it affects you more if you're out of shape. You know, it'll jump you quick. But having played in those kind of atmospheres before, when my time in the Mountain West and especially in Canada when I played, you know, it'll take you a series or two to really absorb what's going on and all that stuff. But that's why, you know, you want to get in as many players as you can. You know, keep guys fresh, keep guys rotating in. And so I thought that's what. It was a little blessing to get that many guys in playing early last week. So it's something that, hey, they know that that's what we do. Get guys in, let them play, keep guys fresh, let them play fast.
Jim in Columbus. Coach, after watching the 3-3-5 defense against Minnesota, I think you're on the right track. Keep it going. Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
You were in some four-man fronts, though, in that game. We keep seeing 3-3-5, but it's so multiple, right?
Oh, yeah. We were in 30 fronts, 40 fronts, 50 fronts. We were blitzing guys. We were playing coverage. It's more just, again, it's more the shell and gives us the versatility to, you know, be in whatever we think we need to be in to be effective. So, again, got to keep on getting better, but good first one.
Doug in Norfolk wants to know, how about the speed of Colorado this week? How concerning is that?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good football team, you know, but again, it comes down to us executing. You know, there's a lot of speed, a lot of different teams, but you got to get bodies around the ball. You got to want to go in there with an intent to tackle people, and you got to play clean. You know, you got to operate, and so that's the main thing that we're focusing on, is just making sure we know what we're doing and getting ourselves in the best position to make plays and let them go play.
How do you feel about the speed you currently have on defense?
Yeah, I mean, we got guys that can run. I mean, from all three levels, we got guys that can run. Guys that, again, there's one thing about running 40s fast, and there's another thing about playing fast. You know, and again, getting that many guys in last week, you got a chance to see their game speed. You know, and some guys really stuck out. So, again, like where the guys are at, you know, and again, that's on the assistant coaches, making sure that the guys have the confidence in the game plan and they know exactly what to do. Because when they know exactly what to do, then that's where the speed shows up. You know, so on my end, I got to make sure that we have enough that we have guys in right positions, but also not take away from those guys playing their butts off. You know, they got to play fast, they got to play physical, they got to be what we are on defense, and just let them go play.
You put in so much stuff in the spring. How was the retention when you got finally back in early August to go again? Did you feel like there was a good carryover from spring?
Yeah, I think I was sitting down with Coach Dvorak one day, and when we came back, it's like, hey, what's the install? And it's like, usually in the 3-3-5, it's like, hey, everything's up from day one, and they're like, okay, you know, kind of shaking your head and stuff and saying, all right, let's see. Man, these guys knew it. They knew it, and they were running the calls, very little mistakes. And again, that's a testament to them and how much they care about football and doing things the right way. And and being an OU. And so what that allowed us to do was you got more reps. You didn't have to constantly install new stuff all the time, taking days to install and correct and stuff. You're like, hey, from day one, let's run with it. Let's put it in, get on film, get the reps so that those guys feel confident.
How competitive was the battle at the jack position for you during August? And Jamari's banged up. That hurts because he would have been, I think, a huge part of that mix as well. Mm-hmm. But what about the competition for that position?
Yeah, I mean, that position's it's indicative of a lot of positions. You got some really good football players, and you got some guys who consistently show that they belong up there with the first group of the black shirts. But not only being the black shirts, but going into the game and playing. I mean, you got at the DN spot, the battle with Cam and Blaze. You got MJ, Jamari, and Chief at the jack. You have Buddha, Javen Wright, and Makai Bayard now playing ball and showing out really well. So now those guys are vying for reps. I mean, you got a lot of competitions at a lot of spots, which is awesome because now they know they're going to play. It's one thing for them to consistently hear that, hey, I'll get you in the game. But Coach Rule, he told us all the night before, it's like, hey, I want guys in the game. I don't want to be all the talk. I want guys in the game. So when the guys got them in the game and they played well, they know it's for real. They know they are going into the game. So starting on Sunday, their whole preparation is different because they know they're going into the game, versus a guy who's like, yeah, I heard all this before. He's not prepared to go into the game, and all of a sudden something happens, and now you throw him in there, and he's just not ready, So kudos to the assistant coaches and the players.
Tim from Kearney says, Coach, how do you feel about blitzing every down, someone from somewhere all the time, bring it every play, quarterback can't throw from his back? What are your feelings about blitzing?
Listen, man, I heard that one, and you know what? At this point, this early, you're formulating a game plan. You never know, you never know what you're gonna do. We're having periods where we do that. We have periods where we play coverage. We got periods where we're mixing it up. So as the week goes on, you kind of feel it out and say, hey, what's going to be our best plan of attack, and we'll go from there. You never know.
Another question kind of along that line. How about the decisions to play some zone, then mix in man, your philosophy about changing things up?
Yeah, whatever works. I mean, again, that's the greatest thing about being with this staff and these players is that, you have the ability to, with all the minds in there and all the experience, to be able to talk through things real fast on the sideline and see, what gets our guys in the best positions, and then being able to put them there because you have the faith and confidence in those guys to run around and make plays. You know what I mean? So, if it's a zone game, it's a zone game. If we blitz them and we get home and they can't move the ball and we blitz them, then we'll blitz them. But again, this is about whatever works, whatever gets our guys in the right positions to play fast, and then let them go play. This has nothing to do about what I think and me. This is about what can those guys execute at the highest levels, at the highest speeds, and then you go out there and trust in them and let them go play.
Shadur Sanders, the quarterback for Colorado, completed 81% of his passes last week. What does he do well?
Oh man, he sees the field. Anytime you do that, your identity on offense, you know what you're doing. You know what the reads are. You know who you're going to. Again, you can see he knows how to operate. He's like a point guard back there. So, again, that's a testament to their coaches and getting them ready to play and getting them knowing what to do. And that's the same thing we're doing on defense, making sure our guys know what to do so that way they play that fast and they're that effective,
Doesn't run much. And Kaliak Manis doesn't run a lot for Minnesota, not like a Jeff would for us. That makes the job a little easier, doesn't it? To not have to worry too much about a guy taking off and picking up 50.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to plan for both. I like to say he didn't have to run. That game when you throw for 500 yards, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have to run. So we're gonna plan for both and make sure that we have all those loose ends tied up, so that way we can give our guys the best chance.
How would you describe their offense? Is it how would you lay out what they do?
Their space. They want their playmakers in space. They want to get the ball out fast and let those guys go. Obviously, their tempo is an equalizer for them. If you let them go and let them operate that fast, and then they feel they have the advantages. So it's going to be a fun game.
Total spread, is that how you would lay out what they do? Or?
Yeah, spread. I mean, it's from that Baylor tree from back in the day. So it's get the ball out. You know, they kind of find the answers. You know, if they got to run the ball 50 times and effective that way, they'll do it. And then you saw they threw the ball around all over the park, so they did that, and that was effective. So they find the answers.
Folks, learn how you can earn up to $250 more per acre when you grow value-added grain by visiting cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. How'd you come out of the game physically? Obviously there's bumps and bruises, but did the guys come out of it pretty good physically?
Yeah, as healthy as they can be. And again, that's man, it's truly a testament to Corey and Drew down there and Chris in the training room staff and the med staff and you know, this new facility. I mean, the stuff that Trev and Coach Rule and all the supporters of the program, you don't understand when you go down there and see those guys using that stuff and using the sleep pods and being in the tubs and before practice, after practice. I mean, it's truly something I have not been around, you know, and I think it's an advantage, you know, when you see guys who just played 40, 50 snaps and that physical of a game, you know, they were in 12 personnel trying to run the ball, do all that stuff. And when you see them come out there and practice as hard as they did today, you know that stuff is working.
A little benefit, right? Having another day or two between games. That's a little bit of a benefit.
Yeah. Got to watch them play, you know. They got to put Minnesota to rest, and then got to see them play and do some recruiting and stuff like that. So it was good.
Good. Time now for our Alumni Hall. Husker alumni great on the football field. Kyle Vanden Bosch was a terrific defensive end for the Cornhuskers. Let's listen back to one of his moments.
That means run the football for Nebraska.
They've stuffed, they've basted, and Carlos Polk gobbled already. They're gobbling some more, and it's Vanden Bosch. Vanden Bosch, you saw come out with 3 fingers up. That's a 3 before that last carry.
Vanden Bosch went on and had a terrific career in the National Football League. He's going into the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame here in a couple of weeks. Now lives in the Phoenix area, does some coaching at the high school level down there, has some sons who are pretty good football players down there. He is our Alumni Hall feature of the week. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop there, 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. We're back with more with the coach coming up next.
Bring even more action to your drive when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can lease the 2023 Buick Encore GX for $299 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Explore our current inventory in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
With approved credit, $1,000 down payment, first payment at $299 doc fee, due at signing, must have current GMC or Buick lease and garaging address. Offer expires 7/31/23. See dealer for details.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying. and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear. Live reports of a polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmaker here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty in town.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. It's our football show for the week. Defensive coordinator Tony White with us for a few more minutes here tonight. Next text, Mike in Grand Island. Coach wants to know about your thoughts about the way TCU lined up to defend Colorado with a lot of soft coverage on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, their system, I can't knock their system. They were in the national championship last year, you know. So, again, that goes back to a saying that I heard Coach Rule say at one of the functions. You know, it's not necessarily about what you do, it's how you do it. And so, I don't know if they were ready to play or not. I just concentrate on Colorado.
Was it a good chance because you guys weren't playing that day? Coach Worrell said he watched the game live. Did you watch it live?
Yeah. Watched it live, recorded it. You know, you're not a competitor. If that's the team you're playing, you're doing something else, right? And I mean, that's what we're all doing. And it was good too because you got a chance to see it in real time, like the flow, get a sense of signals, get a sense of the rhythm of the game. So yeah, we were watching it.
Huskers coming off that heartbreaking loss to Minnesota last week, a Husker defensive effort. You only gave up 55 yards on the ground, 251 on the air. I think if we would have laid that out for you before the game, you probably have taken those kind of numbers on the opening game of the season.
Yeah, I'm always looking at third down, third down and points.
Which they're good at third down. That's another thing they do.
They were really good. I wasn't good enough on third down, so I got to give the guys a chance, whether it's the rush up front or the coverage in the back end. I got to be better. I got to give those guys a chance to get a couple more third down conversions. Get off the field, get the ball back to the offense. Don't let them flip the field in some of those situations. I mean, the very first couple third down conversions of the game, they go down there and they punt the ball and we get on the one. That's tough for the offense. So I got to be better.
A lot of your guys, as I was looking at our special teams, a lot of those are some of those black shirts out there running around. I mean, that tells you something, right? That your guys are willing to go out and play teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's the spirit of the defense, right? I mean, that goes without saying. Coach Foley, we joke around, but I keep asking him to put all the specialists in defensive jerseys because they're defense, you know what I mean? And so but again, it gives you a sense of who really wants to just play football. And when you see, there was a play where Mackay and Buddha, Javen run down on kickoff and they get off 2 or 3 guys and then they make the tackle and they're jumping in there, failing, run around. I mean, it's, again, how do you deny them from playing in the game? You know what I mean? So it's fun to watch, and that's something that's emphasized from the top down, starting with Coach Rule.
I want to ask you about Javen. He's had such a tough career with injuries and all that. He's a different body type, isn't he? I mean, he's long. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of length to Javen.
Yeah,
what do you like about him?
Yeah, I mean, one that when he was approached with it, Coach Rule said, hey, why don't you try this? And it's one of those things, well, yeah, let's go. Let me see what's up, and he just wanted to play. And so all the things that he did to, convert from being a DB, just not only physically, but mentally, right? Mentally wise, to embracing it, to sitting in those meetings extra. I mean, he would come up here and meet extra with Coach Dvorak and truly embrace that, hey, I am a linebacker. For him to run out there and do what he did on special teams, but also get in the game and make some plays running around, being physical, playing the style of ball that we want to on defense. You root for guys like that, right? So his length and athleticism are elite, right? I mean, he's big, he's long, he's fast, and now you just got to match that up with him knowing what to do in the physicality, and you got the sky's the limit.
Contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. When did John Bullock get on your radar? When did you notice, wait a minute, this guy's pretty good?
Yeah, in the winter conditioning, I think that's when you saw him move around, you're like, okay, this guy is twitchy, he's fast, he can accelerate. And then you saw him do the things at DB, but then it wasn't until Coach Rule said, hey, let's try him out at linebacker, and we moved him down. And again, you saw that stuff in pajamas running around and in drills, but then when he was on the field, it matched up with his physicality and his aggression. And I think after the first couple practices, you were like, whoa, this guy can do it. He always had the athleticism. It was just, is he going to be physical enough? Is he going to be instinctual enough to go in there and do it at a place he hadn't seen? And I mean, he's run with it. So he's another guy you root for because he's an OOU, does everything right. He's a leader, low maintenance, blue collar guy who cares. He cares about his teammates. So you root for those guys.
TJ in Moorfield on our text line. Coach, I'm hoping there's good news for Nick Henrich. How's he coming along?
Yeah, he's good. He was running around today. You actually got to. With him, you got to actually tone him down because he wants to go. He wants to go so dang hard, And again, he's another guy you root for, right? Coming off the injury from last year, captain. He was. He's again. I keep saying OU, but he's OU. He's a guy who loves this place, and when you see him around the other guys, I mean, you just it's him being an older guy and stuff like that. You want to see him do well. And so he was running around. He was happy. He was in good spirits. So it's just a matter of making sure that he is able to play well and protect himself. The coach he ain't having that. Guys are compromised safety wise. He's not having that. So we want to make sure that he can protect himself and go out there and play.
Still a few minutes left with the coach. 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to fire off a text. We'll take our final break. Back to wrap up the show next.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Purchasing your vehicle has never been easier with Woodhouse Hyundai. Right now, lease the 2023 Hyundai Elantra SCL for $305 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles a year. Plus, when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundaiofomaha.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $19.99 down plus first payment and $2.99 doc fee to sign it. Offer expires 7/31/2023. See dealer for details.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates may apply and may vary by carrier.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse. They are our official auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. Still time if you want to fire off a text for Coach White with us for just a few more minutes here as Nebraska gets ready to travel yet again. I'm so ready for a home game. I know you guys are as well, but the schedule makers have us headed to Boulder to the altitude to play now a ranked football team. So what a great opportunity, right? What a great opportunity to go on the road and try to get a win against a ranked team.
Yeah, this is another opportunity for the guys to go out there and again put on display what they've worked hard for, and that's the thing that I think coaches preaching and making sure that they make it about football and they keep it about us. A lot of times you sit back and listen to coaches speak and you think it's all cliche and they're just saying coaches talk, but it truly is, not from last week going in there and just worrying about how we're going to do things and making sure we know who we are and how we want to play and getting those guys in the game and the results. I mean, it was a good start, but this is no different. This week is all about us and making sure we know what we need to do in order to be a little bit better this week.
Folks, buckle up, put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Something that you had not been a part of. A lot of the guys on the staff had, and that's the single-digit numbers that were passed out, voted on by the team. How much pride did you take in that it's dominated by defensive players? And then what does it say about your guys?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand the impact of it until when you saw them run out there with the single digit, and then I went up to them and congratulated them, and they stand there in that moment. It was like, hey, look, if nobody was around, I'd probably cry right now. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. And so it meant something. It truly meant something to those guys. And in a realm where, you know, you're playing Big Ten football, you know, you play at Nebraska, you get in all these moments, right? There's very few times where you stop back, you sit back and really stop and say, wow, you know, wow, this is something I'll always remember. You know, I talked to guys who've worn the black shirts before, and I always ask them, like, do you remember the first time you ever saw you got your black shirt? And literally all of them to a T remember the day, the time, what they were looking at, what they were wearing, where they were, how they saw it, and, you know, all that stuff. So it was one of those moments where they saw it, and, you know, you walked up to them and it meant something to them. So that's something they'll always remember. And it, again, to be able to share that, to be part of that, it's awesome.
All right, the Huskers headed to the altitude to play Colorado this week and then back home for the home opener next week. Not a conference game, but a big game. And this game, I don't know how much you guys can sense, but there's a long-time rivalry between Nebraska and Colorado. We're no longer in the same league. I get all that. But there's a lot of fans. They're pretty fired up about this game. I don't know if you've been able to sense that since you've been in Lincoln.
No, I mean, you know, you see and hear about all the history behind the games, and I mean, you know, as a player back in where I went to school, I understood the importance of the rivalry game and how it just felt different, and it was a little bit more and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, as a coach, you sit back and I know a lot of outside sources and things want to make it about all those other things, you know, but really when you're a coach, you just care that, hey, one day at a time, one rep at a time, how do I make sure that the guys know what to do and they feel confident in it and they go, you know, because no matter who you're playing, if you are not ready to play and you don't know what to do yourself and you're not in the right frame of mind, I mean, we saw from last week college football, there are plenty of teams that maybe have been more talented that, you know, should have won on the chalkboard, but they weren't ready to play. So I think, you know, all that stuff is really, really nostalgic and really cool to be a part of. But at the end of the day, you know, your feet got to be where they are right now, you know, and we got to concentrate on making sure that we have enough defense in, but not overload the guys to where they're thinking, because they got to go out there and play fast.
Coaches said we got to keep it about football. We got to keep it about blocking and tackling. There could be a lot of distractions with this thing. Big noon kickoff there, sellout crowd. The scalpers are getting major money for tickets to this thing. There is so much attention on this game, but you got to try to block. You got to put blinders on in some ways, don't you? Just to focus on your job and doing your work.
Yeah, I mean that's where you know, it's really cool for me to sit back and listen and watch Coach Rule, because, you know, he's the master motivator, right? He is the guy who's the heartbeat of the team. He sets the tone, and that's exactly the things that he said right from the get-go. You know, that you came to Nebraska to play in these kind of games. You know, that's just what it is. You know, you're not here if you're not a competitor. You're here to play in big games. You're here to represent the block end. So the only way you get a chance to do that, though, is to make sure that you don't forget about the now. And, you know, those sayings that we have about win the rep and BRDV, like, you know, I think if you talk to the guys, all they care about is watching today's practice right now. You know, that's all they care about, because Tuesdays are tough and physical, you know, and then we'll see him tomorrow and we go.
Thanks. Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Tony White, Husker defensive coordinator, with us. We've got another hour of Sports Alley on the other side. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, I'm a volleyball. It's an okay life. I go back and forth about it. But I really wish I was a Nebraska Lottery Powerball or Mega Millions Mega Ball. See, all they have to do is mix around in a big plastic bubble and roll down a ramp, and then people win millions. What a great life. As for me, I get thrown around all day and have to worry about getting spiked, which is about to happen right now. Oh, ow! Couldn't you just do a nice, gentle tip?
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid mineral with protein or Sweet Pro block supplements for space feeding, while also stretching your forages up to 25% better, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blauhorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Nebraska soccer star Eleanor Dale was named the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week today. Dale scored 4 goals this past week in victories over Missouri and Kansas State. She leads the Big Ten in goals with 8, as well as shots on goal with 16. Huskers will host UC Davis Thursday at 7:05. Earlier today, Nebraska men's and women's basketball announced that their opening night with Husker Hoops would be on Friday, September 29th. The free event begins at 7 p.m. at Pinnacle Bank Arena, with doors opening at 6. The event gives Husker fans their first chance to see both teams in action, and recording artist DDG will perform to close out the event. Fans can begin registering for tickets on September 12th. For more information, visit Huskers.com. The newest AP college football poll was released today. Duke and Colorado both moved into the poll at 21 and 22 respectively. The top 5 consisted of Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Florida State, and Ohio State. LSU dropped 9 spots to number 15, and Clemson dropped 16 spots to number 25. Finally, some Major League Baseball scores. Currently, the Cardinals lead the Braves 5-1 in the 3rd. The Mariners lead the Reds 2-1 in the 5th. The Mets lead the Nationals 5-1 in the 3rd. The Giants lead the Cubs 1-0 in the 1st. And the White Sox lead the Royals 5-0 in the 2nd. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The jumbo formation to the near side.
They like counter out of this.
Under center, Kaliak Manis. Back to throw on a play action. Looking to take a shot, throws it downfield. Pass is intercepted, I think. Picked off. Huskers intercept one at the 11-yard line. It's Omar Brown stepping in front of it. Back home to Minneapolis for Omar Brown, and he has a pick. Kaliak Manis, 2 on the play clock. Just gets it off. Back to throw. Huskers send the blitz. They get after him. Nash gets a sack. Back at the 30-yard line. Huskers' second sack of the drive.
Rachel Fairbanks delivered it again to the Huskers. Back set, right attack. Mira Creason. Kaboom! That's a vertical leap. Liz Grigorski, former Wisconsin Badger, line drive serve. Good pass. Rodriguez the slide. Wow! Andy Jackson. Kaboom! And that draws some oohs and ahs.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2, Sports On. I hope you enjoyed last hour hearing Tony White. He's really fun to talk to and listen to. I really, he's one of my favorite guys on the staff. Don't tell her the rest of them, but he's one of my favorite guys.
He really is. He's so nice. And how he is when he's just talking in interviews is how he is. I mean, he's just a very nice, genuine person and very enjoyable to listen to and be around. And you can tell, you know, I've been saying this a lot since I was on the sideline for that first game, but you can just tell how much his players really appreciate him, respect him too, and love playing for him. It's just that genuine personality. It's just you can understand why guys really want to play for him.
I was praising him early in the year about how well I thought that they communicated, shuffling those players in and out, that's not easy to do in mid-season form, let alone an opening game of the year. And I know you were impressed with what you saw from the defensive staff, particularly on the sidelines.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that since Friday once we got on the show, and I said it again today in our podcast with Jeremiah Sirles. I was really impressed with the cohesiveness, and because there's a lot of chaos going on. I asked Luke Reimer going into the game what we can expect to see from the defense. He said chaos, but it just didn't seem like chaos on the sideline as much as it seemed like it on the field, and maybe that's what offenses might see. It was very organized chaos on the sideline, and the way that they were communicating is just hard to believe. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know that those guys hadn't coached with Tony White, you know, and I know that a lot of them had, you know, Coach Cooper, Coach White, Coach Dvorak had coached together some, but they hadn't coached with that defensive coordinator with Tony White. So I just was really, really impressed at how they all worked together as a unit. And then also it just seemed like they were having fun and that there was a lot of confidence and a lot of belief. And I know that that's something that is really important to the defensive coordinator, Tony White.
Yeah. Late text came in the hour. Greg, why do you always have to be such a yes man instead of maybe ask a tough question once in a while, like how Ty Robinson's selfish play on the late hit could potentially cost us 2 games with his getting bootied. All you do is tell us what a great game he played. I don't think I would describe Ty Robinson being thrown out for a targeting call as selfish. I think he was making a football play. I have seen malicious targeting hits where guys, I think, intentionally do it. I would not categorize that at all, that's what Ty Robinson. Did he hit helmet to helmet? Yeah, and that's why he got thrown out. But, boy, I would not say that was a selfish play on Ty Robinson's part.
And I don't know. I mean, yes, was he dominating? Yes, but they stepped up, and they still didn't allow many rushing yards. They still only had 55, and I know at the end they did get a couple chunks, but a couple big chunks that ended up setting up plays. But they still, I mean, for a while they didn't miss a beat when he went out, which it was really impressive. The next man up, how they handled when he went out, and a lot of it too was you had some quick offensive drives. You don't know. You can't blame that all on Ty. It might have been because the offense had a couple of 3-and-outs, right? They turned the ball over quickly. They were right back out there. They were playing quite a bit, the defense. But I thought that when he went out, the guys that stepped up and in for him did a solid job. And I know talking to Nash Hutmaker after the game, he was really impressed with some of those young guys that stepped in for Ty.
Did a really good job on that thing. You know, the one play, and it was referenced last hour, and I know he feels terrible, is Isaac could have put that thing away. He probably should have held on to that ball in the end zone. Should have had the interception. That ends the game. That was third down. It was before they threw the pass play. And then, by golly, 1 inch, 1 or 2 inches with Jackson dragging that toe. I mean, that was the difference between winning and losing. Those two things, Isaac hangs on to it, and he would probably tell you he should have. And then Jackson able to get that toe down in the back of the end zone.
Or you don't have one turnover.
Take away one turnover. Yeah.
Take away one turnover. Yeah. I mean, that's when those games are so close, you can point to a lot of different things, but it's one or two things here or there that completely can change the outcome of the game. And there's a lot of things. I mean, you know, I think it's hard to point at many negatives to the defense, how they played in the season opener and first time under this staff and the way that they came out. To me, at times, especially in that second half when the offense struggled to keep things going and run the football and take any time off the clock, to me, it's hard to blame the defense much on this one. But they will say, oh, we have to be better, and there's they're not going to blame the offense by any means. But I'm just saying, as somebody watching, it's hard to blame the defense at all for that performance.
And what if Gabe Urban's called a touchdown when he's down with the ball at the goal line right there? I mean, that was really close. I think even some of the Fox commentators and their replay official guy thought it was a touchdown. I thought it was close. It was called not in, so you don't, but then you have the false start. So it's just, I mean, that game can drive you crazy because you can just think about 5, 6, 7 plays that made the difference between us being 1-0 right now than where we are at 0-1.
And at least Ty will be back for the second half.
Yep.
Hopefully, look, the offense is going to play a big part in what this defense can do, and they're going to need to maintain possession and eat up some clock. And so if they can keep it close and get Ty back out there. I mean, as we heard Coach Rule say yesterday in his presser, he told him, "Hey, get ready when you come back.
You're not coming out.
You're not coming out."
Yeah. All right, here's what we have coming up this hour. We're going to hear from Jeremiah Sirles. His latest podcast, Sideline with Sirles, is out. Get his thoughts about the Minnesota game and looking ahead to Colorado. Can't wait for that. And want some of your reactions as well. We've opened up the phone lines for you at 402-413-2400 with calls or texts, and great texts coming in last hour for Coach White. Boy, you wanted it ranked. The Husker soccer team is officially ranked at number 24.
They are. They are in. They deserve it. I mean, not only are they haven't lost. I know they have a tie. They haven't lost, but they're dominating. I mean, They are just absolutely beating teams handily, and teams aren't scoring on them, and they're scoring at will. So now I know they've had, maybe some not as tough competition, but they've traveled. They've been on the road. They've had to travel far. They had an SEC opponent. They had Kansas State, so on the road. So they've had a challenging, and it only gets tougher from here. And the Big Ten is a very respected soccer conference, so they'll have to keep getting better and keep growing. But man, they're deserving. I was calling for it, and I guess they heard me.
And a big volleyball match tomorrow night at the Devaney Center. Battle of top 20 teams. Huskers at number 4, Creighton at 16. And they're off to a good start. They got a victory over Purdue out of the Big Ten a couple of weeks ago. It's always a competitive match when the Huskers and Jays get together. That will knock us off the air tomorrow night, so we do not have a show. Pregame at 6 with First Serve from the Devaney Center at 7 o'clock. As the Husker volleyball team kind of into the meat grinder part of their schedule with what they have. Creighton tomorrow, Long Beach State on Saturday, who beat number 1 Texas a few weeks ago, and then they go out to an old nemesis of Husker volleyball, and that's the Stanford Cardinal next Tuesday night. This will be quite a 3-game run for Husker volleyball.
Oh yeah, it will. And again, building towards the always tough. And as we hear Coach Cook say every year, it's harder to win the Big Ten than it is a national championship. I mean, you got to get yourself ready for that in this non-conference, and they do it every year. They've taken care of business up to this point, but here you go. Here comes that build as you get ready to hit that full speed ahead into the Big Ten Conference.
Folks, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. Again, 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of the program here on a Tuesday night. Again, no show tomorrow with volleyball knocking us off the airways. When we come back, we're going to hear from Jeremiah Sirles. Sideline with Sirles. That's coming up next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Okay, men, huddle up. Look, we're playing one of the best football teams in the country today, and quite frankly, we don't have a chance against these guys. Let's face it, we're going to get slaughtered out there. But the good news is that the Nebraska Lottery has scratch and lotto prizes that any one of us could win.
Yeah!
After the game, we're taking the team bus to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer to see if we can win big.
Let's go!
So let's get out there and lose with pride.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Kids eat free in September at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee to celebrate National Family Meals Month. That's right, get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under can choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, chicken tenders, and more. Bring the family together. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day in September.
Dine in only. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Spot less. Introducing the cleanup for tar spot, gray leaf spot, southern rust, and more. Novel next generation Adastrio fungicide broadens your spectrum and strengthens your residual when it comes to foliar disease control in corn. Visit your FMC retailer or adastrio.ag.fmc.com to clean up this season. Follow 2EE for tar spot management in corn. Valid until 1/31/28. Always read and follow all label directions.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm sports media student Connor Clark with Campus News. More than $145 million in gross revenue has been generated by startup companies founded by alumni of UNL's Angler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program since the program began in 2010. With over 230 Angler Program alumni growing businesses across Nebraska, the Angler Program is making a big impact on the lives of students, alumni, and Nebraskans.
As a fan, you wear your jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. There's a place for people like you. The Cox Fan Zone. Play NFL Pick'em and Collegiate Pick'em for a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card each week, or even a $500 Visa gift card grand prize.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharpe. Say Fan Zone in your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit cox.com/fanzone. Go Big Red.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubmaker here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Tuesday night, Sports Highly here on the Huskers Radio Network. Let's go to the phones. Up to West Point. Husker Dan, you're up next. Good evening.
Good evening, Greg and Jessica.
Hey, Dan.
Well, Greg, I feel sorry for you that you weren't in Lincoln for this volleyball day because, oh, my goodness, I'm going to give the biggest shout-out for all the workers, everybody that was involved in this thing because it was perfect. I mean, everything they did was to a T. And, man, I just don't know if anybody can even touch that record. And it was what was really kind of cool is, you know, with everything going on, I was down at gate 24, and Isaiah Roby walked by, and I recognized him.
Oh,
I
really?
got a picture with him, and
cool.
Yeah, he was back, and it's like, I said, dude, are you still on the team? He goes, yep, and he's doing good, and he was with his dad, and you know, he was back for this thing. You know what? I think, you know what? That's what Nebraska is all about. You know, these alum, they come back for this kind of stuff, and I think, you know, that's really cool.
No, you're exactly right. Isaiah's with the Spurs, I think. Isn't that who he's with?
I thought
Did he get traded?
I think he's with the Knicks or Celtics, right?
Yeah, he was wearing orange shorts.
I think he might be. He got
New York Knicks.
Nets.
Okay, Knicks.
Yep.
Good for him.
New York Knicks.
Sweet. Well, Dan, you're right, and I'm glad you gave a shout-out. There was a lot of people, a lot of man-hours went into putting that event on, and it was spectacular. People will talk about that for years to come.
Oh, my goodness.
And I will say this, too. I mean, you hope that Nebraska, there's two parts to it. You hope that Nebraska hangs on to it, but then again, you also hope that you continue to raise the bar and break records,
Let
right?
somebody try to beat
Look,
it.
there's no way that I don't think a volleyball record, NCAA, and maybe even any sport will touch it, but you hope that it continues to raise the bar and you continue to have and the eyeballs and the want to show up and be in attendance for women's sports. And but yeah, I mean, selfishly, you absolutely want to hold on to it, but then also you do want to continue. And that's what both the coaches, the staff, the players, and everybody that covered this said, look, this is great for women's sports. Let's continue to raise the bar and continue to show that this is possible. This is for all those little girls that were sitting in the stands. This is what is possible. So hopefully it's not the last time we sell out a football stadium for a women's sporting event.
Hey, the other thing I got you too is I watched the game again. I DVR'd it, and oh my goodness, we won that game. We played and beat them. We just beat ourselves. And I'm really confident going into Colorado because that high scoring game, there was no defense on either side of that game, and it's like, you know what? I think we can pound the rock and control the clock, and I'm really confident with this one.
Good. Dan, always great to hear from you. Appreciate the phone call and the compliments. I'm glad you were able to pass those along. I'm sensing this isn't a bad segue into your segment with Jeremiah.
Nope, not at all. He talks a lot about that and that's going to be a key for the Huskers to walk out of Boulder with the win. So this afternoon, got a chance to do the second episode of the season of the Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza. Here is a portion of that with Jeremiah Sirles. Let's dive into the Minnesota game first, and then we'll talk Colorado and what we've seen out of them and the matchup there. Man, just another heartbreaker, but I did feel this, and you might feel a different way, but I told Greg this. It didn't, I know it was another close loss, but this loss felt different because it felt like Nebraska was really in control of this one up until the last 3 minutes, whereas in the past, some of these close losses, you're like, oh no, here we go. You lost the momentum at some point, but it didn't seem like that was ever the case. It really felt like Nebraska had a hold of this thing up until the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I was really impressed with our defense. I'm going to start there. I think everyone had a lot of question marks, including myself, about what is this 3-3-5 defense going to look like? Can they hold up against a team like Minnesota that's just going to line up and run the football? And that is the best defensive performance I've seen a Husker team have in probably the last 5 years. The way that they ran to the football, the way that they all rallied and tackled, and there wasn't a ton of missed tackles. There were still a few, but, I thought that for the most part, a lot of good wrapping up, a lot of good going after it, and I just loved the way that they played with their hair on fire, right? All 11 guys were running, and it was chaos, right? Looking at the tape, sometimes I can't even tell what's going on. You got guys looping this way and running that way and coming off the ball, but to have the 5 DBs on the field and to have those 5 guys play really high-level football was really big for us. I'm going to single out guys like Singleton. I thought Hartzog. I thought those dudes played incredibly well. And then you talk about Luke Reimer and Bullock in there, both pressuring the quarterback and in coverage. I thought they did a really nice job too. So I was really pleased with the way that our defense really came to play and stepped up to bat. I mean, you hold that team to 3.5 quarters of 7 points or whatever it was, 3 points maybe. That's just a great thing for our defense to do, something they're really going to be able to build off momentum-wise. And I'm starting to see the vision of Tony White's defense. I'm starting to see the vision of what he wants us to be. And the more speed we're going to be able to get on the edges, the more physicality out of the guys up front, the vision is just going to continue to get better and better and better. And so I'm super excited for what this defense is going to look like under Tony White.
You said it was chaos, but, I've said this too, that I was, standing there on the sideline and seeing the communication and the cohesiveness between the defensive staff, and they are running a lot of people in and out, right? There are a lot of different players that saw playing time and how they were staying it was orchestrated chaos, I guess.
Organized.
Organized chaos. And it might look like chaos to us, but they knew exactly what they were doing. I was really impressed with the cohesiveness of the defensive unit and the defensive staff.
Yeah, I didn't really, again, it's hard for me to, without knowing the scheme perfectly because I'm still learning the 3-3-5 myself, I didn't see a ton of mental errors, right? You didn't see a lot of free runners in coverage. You didn't see a lot of guys getting out of their gap and having a big explosive run for 30 or 40 yards because a guy got missed in a gap or those type of things. And that's when I say organized chaos is that's what the offense is supposed to see as chaos. They're not supposed to understand what's happening. They're not supposed to understand who's going where. But if the defense can understand the scheme and understand where everything fits, then they're at the advantage. And for 95% of that game, I felt like Nebraska had the advantage on Minnesota. That all being said, they have put themselves on tape now. And good offensive coordinators and good teams throughout, especially in the Big Ten, are going to start to scheme what that looks like, how that looks like. But trying to figure out a week in and week out basis of how to scout this team, meaning if you're CU for this week example, you're trying to teach your defense to show a scout look of what Nebraska's defense is going to be. That's really hard to do because when you can't even draw it up on the card because you're not entirely sure, it's hard to give a good look, right? So I think that, I mean, Rule talked about that in the spring of we want to make it really hard on teams to prep during the week. And I think with this defense, it's really hard to try because, again, so many personnel groups, so many different guys in and out. It's going to be hard to give a look during the week. So I still think we have the advantage going into this game of CU going to have to try to figure out what we're doing. And I think it does give us advantage to get after this team a little bit.
How much do you think, I mean, you said going into Minnesota, you thought Tony White would throw everything in the kitchen sink at Minnesota. Do you think he held anything back or do you think it's all out there?
You know, I think it's all out there, but I also think Tony White's a good enough coordinator to know that you're going to have flavor of the weeks, right? You're going to have a new blitz for third down every single week that you're going to install every single week, right? Whether it's the same blitz out of a different front or the same blitz out of a different personnel group, right? It's just going to be different to that offense, right? So I think we'll see some new wrinkles. I think we'll see some new things, especially when you're talking about polar opposite offenses that we're going against from week 1 to week 2, right? Week 1, you're going against a Minnesota offense that wants to grind the clock, run the football between the tackles, have long drives versus a CU offense that's going to be hurry up, quick passes, get the ball out of his hand, and try and go rack up as many plays as possible. So the scheme itself is going to change a little bit, but I do think Tony White's got some good things in his pocket.
All right, let's move to Colorado and talk about the Buffs. What, I guess, impressed you the most in watching their game against TCU?
Travis Hunter. That dude is a special type of talent. You know, when you talk about a guy playing both ways, and not just playing, but making game-changing plays on both sides of the football, you got to know where 12 is at all times, right? That was super impressive. The other thing that I thought was really impressive by them was their ability to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly, right? Think back to Purdue with Aiden O'Connell, right? How he's ball in hand, ball gone. Ball in hand, ball gone. The quick passing game for CU is very, very good. They were in a great rhythm against TCU. When I watch that, I think, okay, how do you combat that? Our corners got to put their big boy pants on this week. They got to get up in these receivers' faces and really challenge them at the line of scrimmage, right? You can't allow just 5-yard dink and dunks all the way down the field because those 5-yard dink and dunks with the skill positions that CU have and the speed that CU has on the outside, the yards after catch are going to be huge, right? If a 5-yard slant turns into a 20-yard real quick if that quarterback hits him in stride. I thought Sanders was really accurate with his ball placement. But what CU didn't do, and I don't think they do, Ray, is run the football, right? And so that's why I'm saying corners, get up there and press those dudes so that our defense can really press this line of scrimmage and make them run the football, make them have to get in and try and control clock. If you make them go 3 and outs really quick because they're going to throw in incompletes, getting the ball back to our offense is great. Also, we got to tackle. TCU might be the worst tackling football team in the country right now. I don't know, LSU and Clemson were also pretty terrible this weekend. But, you know, I thought for week 1 we were great at tackling on defense. We got to carry that in because these dudes with the ball in their hand are really special. We got to gang tackle and wrap all these dudes up.
Yeah, I think that was, you have this kind of notion about TCU and that it's a defensive team, but Gary Patterson is no longer there, and he was the guy that was known as the defensive mind. So I just did not think that looked like a typical TCU defense. I mean, Colorado was able to do pretty much anything except for, they didn't run it well. Like you said, 55 rushing yards, only 1.6 yards per rush, but they threw it for 510 yards. So you think that our defensive backs are going to be up for the challenge of those guys on the outside for Colorado?
We have to be, right? They're going to want to come out and sling it all over the yard, right? That's what their game plan is. That's what they want to be. We need to find a way to get them to try and run the football more because the quick passing game isn't working. You know, I do think what something that I did see that Minnesota did late in the game was we are an aggressive defense. They hit us with a couple screen passes at the end of the game, which hurt us. And I do think CU has a good screen game. We saw it a couple times against TCU. I think they're going to try and early on try and hit us with a few screen passes so that it'll slow down our aggressiveness, right? And that's okay. I don't want it to slow down our aggressive. We just have to be really good at tackling in space, right? They're going to get a few on us. This offense is too good to think we're just going to shut them down completely. But I do think if they hit a few screens on us early, I don't want us to panic and just understand, hey, that just comes with the nature of being an aggressive defense. Sometimes they get you, but as long as we can tackle and not let that screen game get too out of hand, I'm all right with it because I do love the aggressive nature of the way that Tony White wants to get after the quarterback.
A lot of people I've seen a lot of people talk about how, TCU is a 3-3-5, Nebraska's a 3-3-5, but these are really different 3-3-5 defenses, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, our 3-3-5 is built much more physically than TCU's. Right, TCU's is, in my opinion, they play in the Big 12, right? They're used to getting the ball thrown at them all the time, right? We're a team that's going to be physical up front. And I don't think TCU had any world beaters up front either. And, yeah, we're young. We got some guys. But I think our linebackers are much more aggressive and much better in pass rushing than TCU's were, right? So our ability to get our linebackers on the running backs of CU's and have them win their one-on-one matchups, I think that's a little bit better for us. Also, I think we're a little bit more blitz heavy off of one game that I watched of Nebraska versus Minnesota and TCU versus CU. I think that Nebraska's a bit more aggressive with their blitz packages than TCU was.
TCU was able to run for 262 yards. You alluded to this. How much do you think Nebraska will be able to have some success running the football against the Colorado front?
We have to. It has to be where we win this game. We have to win it on the line of scrimmage. I talked about it. CU's got athletes. They got a lot of athletes. What they don't have is size. And if there's one thing Nebraska has right now, it's big, strong, physical guys up front, right? So Ben Scott, Piper, Nuri, Bryce Benhart, Fedoni, Borkacher, those dudes really need to say, we will carry us through this game, right? Let's get us into third and manageables, right? Let's win on first and second down with the run game. Let's put us in 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s, right? Because those are the way that we can make sure to limit their ability to use their athleticism on the edge. And TCU showed it. They have a weak underbelly. They really do. And we have to take advantage of that. We have to control the clock because the best way to slow down a high-tempo, high-power, fast-flying offense, keep them on the sideline. Right? Take a page out of Minnesota's book. Let them only have one offensive possession in the first half. You can't score 50-some-odd points if you don't have a bunch of possessions.
Right.
Right? And the way you do that is by controlling the clock with the run game. Right? Gabe Irving showed some great flashes. Great flashes. I thought that he ran the ball hard. He ran really well. Same with Grant and Ramir Johnson. We have 3 really talented running backs. Let's take full advantage of those guys, and let's give all those guys a chance to go out there and run all over the place.
I was going to ask you that as my next question is how much is it going to be who gets to play their tempo is going to dictate how this game goes because Colorado wants to play fast and score fast and Nebraska is going to want to play slower. I mean, how much is that going to maybe be a big factor in how this game goes is which team gets to play their style? For sure. The last thing we want to do is get in a shootout with CU. Right? We don't want to get into a TCU-CU type of game. That's not what we're built for. Right? We're not built for let's just throw it all over the yard and do that. We're very much built to run the football, control the tempo of the game, make them play our tempo, right? Because nothing is more frustrating for an opposing team, and I've been on the other side of this when we used to be a tempo football team, when we go out there and we go 3 and out, and then the other team gets it and they drive for 6-7 minutes, get a field goal, get a touchdown, and then we go right back out there and use tempo again and take 50 seconds off the clock and either get another 3 and out or 1 first down, right? That is super frustrating to an opposing defense. That's what we need to do to CU. We need to find a way to have long drives, take the crowd out of it, right? When you have 7, 8, 10-play drives, it takes the crowd out of it. They can't get up and loud. And then when that offense goes out there, if we can find a way to shut them down and make them get off the field quickly, that's how we control and we dictate the tempo. If we start trying to get out there and they score 7, we score 7, I think that's a game that we lose because that's not what we're built for and that's what they're built for. So much of the chess match of Matt Rule and Deion Sanders are going to be how can we get to our tempo and play our style of football instead of having to try and match the other team's tempo. That was just a portion of the full conversation. We talked for over 30 minutes today, so we really dove into Colorado. And also, Sirles is going to be on the call with us.
Yes, he is. Looking forward to that.
So, again, that was Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza, the official pizza of the Huskers. And he's from Colorado. And we had a couple questions. Mike on the chat wanted to know if you're going to be able to keep him under control. He hates Colorado.
I know he does.
It's one of his most hated teams.
He does.
He said it caused a rift in his family when he chose to come to Nebraska.
I bet. That was probably a big wave. Good stuff, as always, from Jeremiah. Looking forward to having him as part of our broadcast on Saturday. 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Back with more of the show coming up next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
I have reports of a polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubmaker here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, servicing the Midwest and agriculture. Acres solutions for every field. Sorry, my phone popped on there. Did not mean to have that blaring in everybody's ears. Hey, I bet you're excited about DGG coming, huh? What's your favorite song?
I was going to ask you the same.
I don't know who it is. I'll be honest, I do not know who that is.
I do know that the basketball teams had some suggestions like they always do. It's a big recruiting night, and they like to get an artist in here that is going to be big. And hey, I'm pretty sure last year the football recruits went.
Yep.
They had some football recruits in town too. So it's a big night for
the
recruiting.
Michigan weekend.
Yeah, so it's something that the kiddies like, and like to listen to. And so, hey, if that's what they like, I'm for it. I can't tell you. I did hear a couple songs when they were going through some of the artists, but I can't say that I have any on my playlist.
DDG. Camden's a kid. Do you know who this is?
I do not know who DDG is.
All right. I mean, I don't. Man, hey, that's great. But I'm with you. It's an event for student athletes, particularly our basketball team. So that's great. I'm sure they're pumped up about this.
Yeah, I mean that's the key. I mean, you see a lot of big time programs across the country doing something like this, where they have a opening night type deal and they sell the recruits and have a big to do. Then they go to the football game the next day. There's a home game, right? I didn't even.
Michigan.
Oh, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
So it's a big weekend all around. I mean, every single sport will have all their biggest recruits in, more than likely. And so football will take their recruits out to the basketball event. The basketball recruits will then go to the football game the next day. I know men's and women's basketball recruits. I'm sure there will be softball and baseball recruits. Volleyball, I don't know if volleyball will have many recruits.
I doubt there's many football recruits here Friday night.
You don't think so? I know there were last year. There were some.
Playing.
Yeah.
High school football.
Unless
Friday
they're
night.
off or have a Thursday night. I don't know.
Which would be kind of
I'm pretty sure there were some that went last year, but maybe I'm wrong.
That's tough for football because you're playing high school football.
Yeah.
Friday nights. Carla, good evening, Sports Nightlies. Can you review the basics on holding? What is not holding? It seems like they don't call it anymore. You're kind of right. Sure seemed to be lots of that going on last Thursday. I bet there'll be plenty of it Saturday. Carla, you're right. Officials will tell you probably get caught on every play. I think they try to limit it to that if it's egregious, you bang it and do it. But I think that's what it is. I think if they clearly see a guy that's completely changed the outcome of the play, they're going to flag it. but you probably could call it just about every snap of the ball. Kenlin, on punt returns with all the Australian-type punters, shouldn't we have both deep and mid-range punt return person to stop having that short punt bounce and hinder us from getting a return? I've kind of wondered that same thing, Kenlin. We're going to get Ed Foley at some point in time for one of our coaches' shows. I'll ask him his thoughts about putting two safeties back deep, because Billy Kemp that one time couldn't get over there to grab it, and it rolled all the way down the 1 yard line.
Yeah, that would be a question for Coach Foley.
Yeah, so we'll get that to Coach. Well, I'm not sure when he's scheduled to come on Sports Sunday, but it's a great observation, and certainly I tend to lean that way as well. Folks, buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back to wrap up tonight's show next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Jeff Brandt in Hastings or Callie Schilke in Imperial today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Not All Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Not All Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Not All Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For new Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip? Works for me.
New Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Sports Highly brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. You or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling. Free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices Treatment's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Offices in Lincoln and Columbus. Final few minutes of Sports Highly here on a Tuesday night. No show again tomorrow. Husker volleyball on the airwaves as they take on their in-state rival, the Creighton Blue Jays, 7 o'clock at the Advantage Center. Pregame coverage begins at 6. That should be fun. Should be fun to watch this one.
It's pretty wild how the hatred has come back for some Colorado fans. They've been commenting on some of the videos on Sirles podcast. There was a couple of them. So they're ready for this one. They're going to probably be coming in pretty confident.
Give me a wild Saturday scene, I think, in Boulder, Colorado. A lot of Husker fans will be there. We'll have a lot of red in the stands. Early start. It'll interesting how the early start could it soften the rowdiness? I mean, it's kind of hard to get kind of juiced up by 10, isn't it?
10 a.m. That's so weird. Such a weird kickoff. I don't know. I mean, are they going to start tailgating at like 5 a.m.?
I mean, it's really early in the day.
But Big Noon Kickoff will have a show, so they'll try to get a bunch of people out there.
And they go on 2 hours before, so they'll go on at 8 in Boulder. So I don't know what time sunrise is out there. It's got to be fairly close to us.
Where does Colorado rank on your hatred teams? You heard Sirles talking about it.
Well, yeah, because he's from there.
Yeah.
It's so much different for him. They are. And when I was at K-State doing their games, they had some great battles with the Buffaloes, too. So, there's no love lost between those two schools. I do think it's kind of cool Colorado's going back to the Big 12.
Yeah.
I think they fit much better with those schools, longtime rivalries with the Kansas schools, OSU. I think it's cool that they're going back.
It is a much better fit, and it looks like apparently the style of play that they're about to play fits better in the Big 12, too.
Yeah, it does. Oklahoma had a heck of a start. Great, put up 70-some points. Man, my goodness.
Yeah, they just... Boy, I think it was Butch Jones was on the sideline for Arkansas State and just looked distraught at one point. He was being condoled. What is that word? Why do I keep saying condoled? It's not condoled. Consoled by a player. And so, boy, I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to believe that they had that good of a turnaround in 1 year, but I don't know. I don't know how good Arkansas State is.
Who do they have this week? Tulsa?
Yeah, isn't it at Tulsa?
Yeah, that's right, because I remember how I thought that was pretty weird that they were playing a road game against the Golden Hurricane. But, yeah, some interesting scores. And, again, it's overreaction everywhere.
They got SMU, then at Tulsa.
And SMU's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be tested a little bit more this week. Everybody does it, including us. You overreact or you underreact. If you had a great win, you think you're wonderful. If you had a bad loss, you think you're terrible. You're not either one of those. You're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, and Sirles just said it a bunch in our podcast. You make the biggest jumps between week 1 and week 2. And so it's just so hard to say, base everything that we think that we know about the entire football season off of one game for every single team. So, I think 2-3 games into the season, we'll know a lot more. But I still don't know. I still don't know what this game is going to look like, because I don't know if we know that much about Colorado, because I don't know how good TCU is. I don't know how good TCU's defense is, and or how good TCU's offense is. That was obviously able to score a bunch of points. And I don't know. I think, as we heard, the Nebraska offense getting in there and getting on the film, and Jeff Sims has stayed up there a long time to try to dive into the film and improve on his decision making. So, we'll see. We'll see what improvements are made. And I'm with you. It's so hard to sit here and say, oh, we know all this stuff about both these teams. We just don't. So,
you talked about the interest in this game. A Twitter account called Betting News says there is more cash on Colorado's spread than the spread for all 32 NFL teams this weekend.
I think I saw that yesterday, or said that yesterday, that there's more bets being placed on Colorado than any NFL team.
It's unbelievable. So lots of interest around that. There are going to be so many eyeballs on this game. And I said this to Coach White last hour. What a great opportunity for Nebraska. Go out there and win this game, because all of a sudden, right now, everybody's talking about Colorado.
Yep.
Go rip the rug right out from underneath them.
Just, go right in there, let them talk all week, let everybody talk all week about Colorado, and then go in there and make a statement.
Beat them. That'd be great. Hey, Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Thanks to Camden for steering the ship tonight, all by himself. Did a great job. We'll have a no show tomorrow. Volleyball, we're back with you on Thursday.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Take your adventures to new heights when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Lincoln. Explore our current lineup to find a luxury SUV that exceeds your expectations. Receive 1.9% APR for 36 months on all 2023 Lincoln models. The Lincoln Aviator, Lincoln Corsair, Lincoln Nautilus, and Lincoln Navigator provide a sense of elevated peace to every moment of your drive. Experience the power of Sanctuary in-store or online at woodhouselincoln.com. With approved credit, expires 7/3/23. See dealer for details.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Grant Hansen with Campus News. As worldwide leaders in ag technology, UNL faculty and students innovate using emerging technologies to improve yields and nutrition, and designing wireless in-field networks increasing precision in agriculture. Plus, UNL is breaking ground on a $7.2 million feedlot innovation center near Meade. UNL is doing big things for the future of agriculture.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid mineral with protein or Sweet Pro block supplements for space feeding, while also stretching your forages up to 25% better, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blauhorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
There's a new kind of season ticket when you fly from the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Huskers. Now at LNK, choose from fast, affordable, non-stop flights to your favorite vacation spots. All from an airport that's relaxed and hassle-free. It's never been easier to get off the bench and enjoy an adventure with the whole family. Visit GoFly